Hey guys, welcome to the next episode in Let's Play Football Manager Return to Liverpool. And it is indeed three in a row. Three in a row. I don't know how I've managed to do that, to be honest. Um, Again, kind of lucky. I think I'm building a really good team here. And I was super impressed by the ground. A lot of the groundwork was laid by Slaven Bilic. I'm not going to deny I did inherit a great team and I've inherited a lot of great players. But whatever, I say the first thing I look for in these videos is entertainment. Hints and tips and looking all cool by doing, cool football manager things, and looking like a beast at the game. That all comes second. Not really. I'm terrible at this game. You'll know that. Yeah, we managed to do it. Let's have a look at the league. Again, close. I said in the last video, it looked like we were dominating. It didn't really do that. We kind of, in fairness, we did put Peter out at the end of the game, but there was a good reason why we'd already. Well, I'll put it this way: we'd already won the league by the time we got to game week 35 or 36 or something. So, yeah, the ending doesn't look all that dominant, but trust me, it was fairly dominant. We lost 5 times. That's quite a high amount. And if you look at City's goal difference, I think their goal difference is held by the fact they scored 100 plus goals. And obviously we only scored 76, but we've all conceded. If you look at the top 5, all within 7 points of each other, not a million miles away. They've all got roughly there or about the same amount of goals for conceded. So yeah, it was quite tight in the end, I suppose, but that's what that picture sort of paints. In the end, it was a formality by a few weeks earlier. Blackburn finishing a very respectable 6th. Aston Villa and West Brom sort of slipping from their previous years. Tottenham recovering a bit up to 9th. But of course the big thing, as you can see there, Brighton and Hove Albion all the way down in 12th. I don't know what is going on there. I know what the problem is. The bloody manager is getting rid of all my star players. Apart from I bought Gordon myself. And I think one more player. I bought Vladislav Gordon and I bought someone else. But other than that, they've sold everyone else. Ferrer, Rubio, Han Jae-yoon, Jack Butland. They've sold them all. If I just show you the Brighton team, obviously I know that I suppose I should use this as a slight update. Goncharenko is not going to get sacked. He did inherit this team, but yeah, and then he's brought players like Josh Johnson in, and Tigueino's been a good, and he's going to sell him as well. And there's Lothar Witsum, who probably is going to sell. It's like, look, who are these players? It doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know. It's just weird. This one from Dominican Republic of Congo there. Not a nation you see every day. And yeah, I don't get this one either. It's just self-destructing from the inside, but that's what happens when you let the CPU control the blooming teams. I don't think there wouldn't have been any transfers, so let's go on with the fixtures. So we left you. Where were we? Yeah, we had to play Manchester United next in the FA Cup 5th round, and we did. We won 3-0. That was very nice. Barry Wallace scoring a hat-trick, obviously. Then we had to play AC Milan in the Champions League first knockout round. And guess what? We lost in the San Siro. Albert Kostrov, though, got us an away goal, which was decent, not ideal. But unfortunately, this Claudio Bertoni, who's a very, very good player for them, I'll show you him real quick. He's good. Got them in 89th minute. Winner. And I was disappointed. But nevertheless, we had an away goal. I think it was more sort of losing the lead, losing that 1-0 away goal advantage. That was what kind of killed it for me. But we bounced back with a nice 2-1 win over Sunderland. Kemp and Jesse Peelan. I think that wasn't his debut, but he did score. Well, actually, I'll have to show there's 2 90-minute winner goals, 2 90th minute goals here. So I'll have to show that. Kemp, as you can see, continued his great scoring run of this season. I don't know how many he's scored now, but it's a fair amount, let me tell you, as you may know if you keep him count. Well, Gaston Ruiz again, who was brought in as a centre mid, but he's doing superbly as a winger, putting in crosses in, and Kemp always just finds himself at the edge of the box, and when a winger makes that dart in, he's only got a few metres to run, and he gets it in, He knows where to put the ball. But a lovely ball there from the 2 new. Mormon is like a January signing. And what about that finish from Jesse Peelan? He's only meant to be a rotation option, but what a strike that was! What a strike! And that was 2-0. I think I don't say take a breather now. I would never say take a breather usually. Not when you're 2-0 up. But to be fair, that was from the kick-off. Kind of irritating, actually. Hornby off the post and in. Sure, I thought surely not. They're going to bounce back. 2 goals in extra time, in added time. Surely not. Incidentally, yeah, Francisco Godoy was away on international duty with Guatemala. That does happen occasionally. The I think Asian Gold Cup or something, which takes place in January and February, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Then Barry Wallace, believe it or not, came off the bench to score at half time. Not even at half time, actually. He came. Just look at that. Just look at it. What the hell? I mean, unbelievable. Right, we'll show you this. So this is the DW, and I thought, oh, sod. We're gonna. That kind of says, third minute, and I thought we are going to be defeated twice in a season by Wigan. But no, Barry Wallace came on off the bench at half time, I think. And honestly, if Sands had shown a bit more sense here and put a bit of a cross in, there it is. He's back now, the goalkeeper. He's shown a bit of a sense, but great delivery, I could say, all round from everyone here. Torres ball in, and there's Wallace firing in. 84th minute. It had been coming. We had been pressing and pressing and pressing. That was 300 league goals for Barry Wallace. Unbelievable. I thought, okay, maybe we can push on here. And actually, maybe claim a win. But there's Jose Luis Sanz. Remember him? Yeah, he was a good little signing. One of my first big signings for Brighton, in terms of young potential. But unfortunately, he got a bit too carried away and wanted first team football as an 18-year-old. But look at that, Barry Wallace bouncing in. I mean, it was Featherstone could only do so much there. And obviously the goal after this, just should point out, as a Wigan goal, so I'm not going to show you that. But it was still all to play for. And then check. Oh no, sorry, that was a Wigan goal. So that was 2-2. That was 2-2. What happened there? But then Barry Wallace got himself a penalty in the 95th minute. And that's a hat-trick. This game is going to give me a friggin' heart attack. Just show you that one again. Just make sense of it. Sands, first goal. Wallace comes on, gets 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. They equalise in the 93rd minute. Wallace gets a penalty to win it in the 93rd minute and get a hat-trick. Who says this game's realistic? God, dear me. Right, 6th round. FA Cup, Gaston Ruiz, Wallace and Lopez. Obviously, Al Lopez scoring against his old club at the Hawthorns. They put us through to the FA Cup semi-finals. And then this thing happens where we just go a bit mental occasionally in the Champions League. You stare the beast, so to speak. And we win 7-1. We've seen this many times on FM12 where, I will lose in one leg. But then we just bounce back and absolutely destroy the opposition. There's a 3.5 rating in there for one of the players. A. Muka. Oh, that is dangerously close to America, that as well. Yeah, I don't get that one either. These things happen where you just see things like that. We've seen this happen. I did it like 2 or 3 times to Bayern Munich on FM12. It was quite funny. Anyway, yeah, we continue good scoring. That's 11 goals in 2 games now as we put 4 past Blackburn. Fabio, Kemp and 2 for Lopez. 0-0 against Chelsea. Not a bad result, I suppose, but it was a dead heat. I think if we'd won that, really, that probably would have... Actually, no. No, that's incorrect. No, I tell a lie. That would have done a whole lot there. But then we played Man City in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Barry Wallace got us a goal, but unfortunately, they did get that away goal, which was arguably better. But, that Wallace 87th minute goal, in fact, I'll show you that, guys, put us back in the tie. I thought, we're not going to go to Eastlands and, Man City Stadium and, fight against a very good Man City team. But they were still pressing, as you can see. They wanted that. How far high up they were. But Wallace, lovely finish. Edge of the 6-yard box. Giving us a chance. And then we lost 3-0 to Cardiff. I totally fucked this one up. I played a stupidly, I didn't play a weak team, but I played Lewis Black here, who's like 16, 17-year-old. Yeah, he's 17, and obviously is black. Solomon Koulibaly came on, didn't do anything. He's going to be going. I think he's already gone, actually, or he might even be retiring, actually. So he fears for his future at the club. He will be going. He's as they say, had it. But we happily bounced back and won 3-1 against City. Ferrer, Torre and Wallace. So it did actually pay off losing 3-0 to Cardiff. And that was sort of where the blip thing started. Wallace gave us an away goal. But then, I'll have to say it, Chatzitafanu. Let's just go with that. Put them back here. Put them back in it. And then Ferrer and Torre killed that game off, though. And we progressed through to the semi. So we're in an FA Cup semi and the Champions League semi. Speaking of the semi, we got Norwich. Unbelievably. If we look at this FA Cup semi-final, yeah, Brighton got Arsenal. We got Norwich. But a few times like that's happened now. Kemp, Kostrov Jr. and Hernandez scoring. Well done, my son. Literally. Wallace with the winner against City again, this time in the league. Good game again. 2-2 against Brighton, so the title really was going to get wrapped up at this point. Kostrov came off the bench and saved us a point. As you can see there, they were 2-0 up, typical Brighton, I suppose. Came back and got ourselves a point, so not bad at the Amex. And then played Inter Milan in the semi-finals and 2-0 at Anfield. Kostrov and Lopez. Wallace was having an off day, but no matter, that was the benefit of bringing these two players in. This is why you can't rest on your laurels when you have a absolutely astonishing player like Wallace. Remember to build the team around him and build extra players similar to him, like Kostrov and like Lopez. And they saved us there and got 2 goals, very big goals. Then we played West Brom. Juarez, Camarota, Kemp and Kostrov. Also scoring 4-2, that's in the Premier League, and I think that was the game that won us. Yes, indeed it was the game that won us the Premier League. As you can see, we were 2-0 up here. Kemp and Kostrov got us 2, then they came back through Sorensen and Graham, and then Camarota scored his first goal, probably, no bigger goal in a Liverpool shirt. It may have been his first, but whatever. And Ruben Juarez then finished them off with a nice header. So, yeah, that was really good. And then an astonishingly mad game, 4-3, just work it out. That means we're through to another final. 5-4 on aggregate. They went 2-0 up. This is in the San Siro. They went 2-0 up. I'm just trying to remember what that was now. That was 2-2. Thinking, oh no, this is going to go horribly wrong. I can't speak anymore. Horribly wrong. And then Kostrov got us back in front with 3-2. And then Tage card penalty, believe it or not, the 49th or 54 plus 4th minute of added time at the end of the first half. And then Pavanello scored for them to make it, 4-3. And then Wallace put us back in, extended our lead even further. And then they got another 2 goals. That was it. I'm trying to work it out. And he did just about enough. That was tense though. Good grief. But we're through to another final, so we've got another FA Cup final. Did we really do the treble? Well, I would say at this point I kind of bottled it with the Premier League. We'd already won it, so I just played a load of weak players. Had to rest players for the upcoming FA Cup final. Which did we win? Well, we beat Charlton on the run up to that. Lopez came off the bench, but did we win the FA Cup? Yes, we did. 2-1 against Arsenal. Repeat virtually of the 2001 Michael Owen final, if you want to call it that. I know you might want to, as he virtually won it for us single-handedly. But Lopez and Yusuf Tage, no bookings, which is very, very rare on this game. Christoph, as you can see, had a very bad off day. And yeah, I'll show you the goals. Go ahead then, since it is an FA Cup final. So we're through to another Champions League final as well. Did we really do the treble? We've done the domestic double. Fortunately, we couldn't do the treble again. But yeah, we were very close to the treble as well. Of course, being through to the semis of the Capital One Cup, but unfortunately, it was not to be. But bear in mind now, this is going to be my 5th Champions League final. The Lopez looping header over the top of the goalkeeper, 21st minute, and we take the lead. But yeah, I'm just trying to remember. I think this was my 5th final. Surely it can be 5th time lucky. Surely 5 times, equivalent to being lucky and all that. But let's focus on that. I just wanted to make a point of that. Fabio here with Torre and a ball, lovely ball to nearly fed to Lopez. But check this out. What a finish! What a finish from Yusuf Tage. He certainly didn't mean it. He certainly didn't mean it. What, as in he meant who's he? Unbelievable. It's seriously so stupid. Right, 70th minute, we're still cruising. Thinking, okay, we just need to see out the last 10 minutes or so, and then I think we've got this. But no, silly play allowed Van der Veed to come back in and give Arsenal a lifeline. But fortunately for us, it was enough, and we won the FA Cup, so that's good. Now I'd like to move on and present the Champions League final, but unfortunately the game won't let me. There we go. So, can we do a treble? Well, I'll come back to that Arsenal game, but can we do a treble? No! I still can't win the fucking Champions League! Believe it or not, Chelsea beat us in the final. In the Velodrome. I couldn't believe this. How many times? That's twice in a row. Twice in a row. Lost to Lyon and lost to Chelsea. I can't win. And look, yeah, it was my fourth final, I should say. So it was four. Yeah, it was four finals. Came runner-up in 2022 with Barcelona, and runner-up. Against Barcelona, and runner-up against Man United in 2025, both with Brighton. Then they go on and win it without me, and now I'm runner-up again. So that's 4 times. So I said 5 earlier, and I meant 4 times now. I have played the final and have not won. Getting real sick of your shit. And that's it. That was the last game of the season. Well, the last Premier League game. This was virtually identical to what happened last season, of course, when we played Chelsea in the FA Cup final. We lost. And then we played them in the league and absolutely battered them. And I think at that time, John Terry was probably still drunk because he was really poor. I really do think he was still drunk on champagne or something. And so they lost badly, and so did we here. But I played a very weak team, as obviously we had in 6 days' time a Champions League final. I'm sure you can understand. Owen Waterhouse there scoring. He did go off injured later, unfortunately, and so did Koulibaly on his final game, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I played a weak team, and I didn't care. I think I instant resulted this. So we lost 4-1. Whatever. Who cares? So that's kind of why. Obviously losing to Newcastle up there. Obviously, if we'd say won that, say add another 6 points to our tally, that would put us on 93. So, you can actually get an idea of how dominant we actually were in reality. So, yeah, let's have a look at the final stats as well, play stats. Wallace finishing on 21, Lopez on 22. Christoph, he may have had a poor game in the final, but to be fair, he got 39 goals. That's unbelievable. The Bulgarian. Dudell, Taylor, McDonald, Lee Vaughan there for Southampton. Never heard of him. He's American. Decent. Yeah, fair play to him. Scoring there. Cooper, who's been good for Millwall the last few years. Skubala for Man United. Steinhofer for Tottenham. Never heard of this guy. Wonder what nationality he is. Oh, yeah, he's German. And yeah, there's them players. So, decent. Ruben Juarez, not being funny, 7.86 an average rating. He's 22 and a centre back. That is incredible. Pepe Hernandez slightly slipping, but can't argue still. That's very, very good stuff overall. Top 8, both of them, both centre backs in there. So very, very good. So that's going to do for me. So thank you very much for watching. It's another Premier League for us. Still a way bit, though, behind Manchester United, who are on 25. I think that pushes us on to 21. Wonder if we can catch them up then. So, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. And hopefully we can do it all again. Bye-bye.